Welcome to Comfy Havoc number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is the only video I'm making. It is Friday night. I am going to make some TikToks tonight, so before I do that, I'm going to make this video that I meant to make today. Now, I made the video originally, and I deleted it. Misspoke, can't pause, can't undo, can't unsay. So, I decided to just remake the video for y'all. I want to talk to y'all about the newest Resident Evil movie. They just dropped last week. Okay, right off the bat, I'm not going to try to spoil it. I'm going to try not to spoil it. But I'm going to say that first and foremost, no matter what I say, from this point on, just know this. The movie was fantastic. Now, everything after this, you should know that not only was it a fantastic movie, but in some ways, it was a fantastic clusterfuck. Because they clustered everything and retconned everything. So, remember what I said. After this point, just remember the most important part. The movie was fantastic. Alright? Now, from this point on, I'm going straight forward with my feelings about this shit. Alright? So, if you don't like honesty about this movie, this isn't the place for you. Also, I may accidentally spoil some shit. So, I'm going to just spoil maybe two things. I'm not going to spoil the movie itself, but I am going to tell you about the power of retconning. Because there's a lot of fucking retconning in this movie. Now, also, you should know this is just my personal opinion. I love the movie. And you can take my opinion as a grain of salt. You know, it was a good movie. Hands down, it was a good movie. They could have did more. They could have did a fuck ton more. They should have did more because it was a Sony picture. And Sony and Screen Gems pretty decent in the money department. And they could have did a lot more than what they did. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's a clusterfuck. Alright? It's a great movie, but it's also a clusterfuck. Remember that it's a great movie, but it's also a clusterfuck. Okay? It's a clusterfuck because they retconned the shit out of it. It's also a clusterfuck because they tried to give you two video games in one movie. Which goes back to the retconning thing. Okay? So, if you're a game fan, I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to like the movie. If you're a Resident Evil fan, not just the game, but the franchise and all that shit. That's kind of where I got a little mad at. Because Sony and them had a way bigger budget than the original franchise people. Which means this movie, they should have took their time with it. And they didn't. So, now you know that they didn't take their time with it. They retconned the shit out of stuff. And that kind of makes it a clusterfuck. So let's begin with the first thing that makes it a true clusterfuck. Alright? So one, they retconned all the main characters. They gave them unequated storylines that had like nothing to do with their video game counterparts. Alright? Some of it was pretty close. So unless I misread some shit when playing these characters, the counterparts for the movie was kind of fucked up and off. Okay? Which again is why I said that's what makes it a clusterfuck. They tried to cram too many things into one story. Which is where they went wrong. That's the only thing I really truly got to complain about outside of the retconning. Because they retconned the shit out of this damn thing. They revised some shit from the second or the remake of the Resident Evil 2 game. And it's in this movie. And it's okay. But it's a hell no. They should have just left it with the original Claire motorcycle thing. That doesn't happen. They should have left it with the Leon Jeep thing. In the video that I made before I deleted it, I touched on that. Touched on a lot of shit, which is why I deleted it, so I could be more clear about how good the movie actually is. Because I'm not taking anything away from the movie. I'm definitely not trying to spoil the movie for you guys that are going to watch the movie. The suits for TikTok. Just in case you wanted to know why the suits for why I'm getting in this damn suit. Okay. Now, back to the Resident Evil movie. So, the opening scenes, fantastic. Retconned the fuck out of some shit. Like the entire STARS thing. Alright? I give you no more than that. And this is where shit starts getting complicated. They fucked up Jill. They fucked up Claire. They fucked up Leon big time. And they fucked up Chris. They also fucked up Wesker. Those are like your main 5 characters. Let me do it again. Chris and Claire Redfield. Retconned. Leon, retconned. Jill, retconned. Wesker, retconned. Irons is in the movie, retconned. The captain that Leon and Claire are supposed to meet, not in the movie. Okay? I can't remember his name. Not in the movie. We know he's a black guy. He's not in the movie. Alright? So, now, let me touch on what I touched on the video that I deleted before I post this video, and hopefully it will make you guys want to go see the movie versus not see the movie. So basically, before I go any further with that, they kind of tried to cram the original movie, They tried to cram the original video game and the second video game and pieces of what kind of happens in Nemesis, like lines from Nemesis, into the movie. That's where they fucked up at. Now here's what I said in the video that I would delete it. So, I'm going to be honest, not going to lie, I did delete the video. But what I said was the first thing that Sony and them should have done was took their time. The second thing they should have done was should have focused on the first video game and only the first video game. And I will tell you what I would have done. I would have had Leon and Claire come in at the end of the movie. That's what I would have done. I would have focused on Bravo Team and Alpha Team in the mansion. I also talked about the giant snake, the giant shark, the giant spider, and the giant, what the hell was it? The hunters and the dogs. That would have been my main focus, that in the mansion. They do go visit the mansion. There is a scene where they go in the door and it looks just like the video game, which was cool as fuck. However, they don't get to explore the mansion like talking about it, and they don't get to do everything that you see or do in the video game, which is why I said they kind of just crammed 2 video games together into the movie, but they left off all the important details. There is a scene where you remember the game where if you're Chris or Jill, you stumble on the guy eating a member of STARS. That scene's in there. And then shit goes apeshit. Running out of ammo, all kinds of other shit. Some of the things they did were not in the game, in any of the games. But it does move the story forward, but it still is why it turns it into a clusterfuck. Alright? But we're not going to go there, because it's still a good fucking movie. No matter what I say, you're going to have to formulate your own opinion. And like I said, I love the movie. I just don't like what they did with the characters. I don't like how they retconned the shit. I don't like how they didn't take their time. I don't like how they took the 2 video games and tried to cram it into the movie and merge the stories together in a non-conventional way. Again, back to what I said, I would have just had the teams at the mansion. I would have focused completely on the first 2 teams in the very first game. That's it. This is not what that movie does. This movie does exactly not that. It does focus on 1 team of STARS. The office looks just like the video game. The police station looks just like the video game. It literally is like they took in green screen everything and it looks like the video game, which is great. I mean, it literally, square for square on your screen, you will see the Raccoon City Police Station, upstairs and downstairs. You know, the garage and all that shit. There's other things in the game, I mean, in the game that's in the movie, which is part of the retconning, which I did not like. So I'm not gonna give that for you because I don't want to spoil that. Jill and Wesker, their relationship in the freaking movie was never in the game. But it's in the movie. That's a retcon I didn't like. Chris and Claire's relationship in the movie. Polar opposite from the game. Total polar opposite from the game. Leon got the worst retconning of them all. So if you played the game and you go see this movie, you're going to be a little bit hot under the collar on what they did to these characters. But outside of what I just said, in this video, outside of everything I just said, the movie gets 3 stars. The movie gets 3 stars. It ends well. It begins well. But if you're going to look for like the video game, you're going to get disappointed because they retconned shit out of everything. They literally retconned the fucking story. And I say this with conviction because I love the game, I love the movie, but the movie needed a little bit more spice. In other words, there was some shit that they should not have done, and they did that shit. They should not have done it, but they did that shit. Again, they do lose lines from Nemesis and from the new remake where there's a scene with Claire, and that scene, those lines are exactly from the remake with Sherry and Claire. Not saying anything else about that because I don't want to ruin the movie. I want everybody to go see the movie and then come back and give me their opinion on the movie. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. Go see Resident Evil and let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm right because I really did love the movie. I really did. I just didn't like what they did with the characters. That's my only complaint, is that they fucked up the characters. But also, in a side note, if I would have made the movie, and I know I just said this, but I'm going to say it again. If I would have made the movie, I would have focused on Chris and Claire's teams and the mansion. Because I really want to see that fucking giant snake. I want to see those spiders. I want to see the hunters. I want to see the dogs bust through the window. You don't get any of that. But you do get a fantastic movie. I just think that they could have done some things a lot differently. You know, they really could have jazzed it up. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix this so when I get on this damn TikTok, it'll be straight. But they did okay. I mean, it's a really good movie. They did great. Again, the problem is they retconned the dog shit out of the characters and they should have just kept them the way they are in the video game. They didn't do that. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Enjoy your movie, y'all.